$170,000 kitchen project that we lost $45,000 on it. That's more than we would have made on the project, and it's more than our overhead on that project. That means it's a direct negative hit to our company. Now, I'm gonna get to the point where how do you afford that and all of that, because that was a question we got on our podcast, but let me walk you through the scenario. We take this smaller kitchen renovation project. We look at it as an opportunity, how can we expand our network of people? Now, I didn't take the time to introduce who we are as a builder, but we are a builder of project managers. We self-perform all our own carpentry. We also own a cabinet shop. So if we're putting cabinetry or millwork into your home, we're fabricating in our shop, except for this job. This job, we looked at it as, let's team up with a small shop, figure out how we can expand our bandwidth, so when we have more work than we can handle, we can micromanage or subcontract this cabinetry out. We worked with them. They delivered a product that was good. We put it in. It wasn't what we would have built. We looked at it and we considered, how do we make this how do we make this so we can be proud of it? What do we have to do? What do we have to change? How do we adapt this? And we looked at it. I met with Ken, is one of my lead cabinet maker. We went on site. The client, let me back up. The client was also upset because he knew that we didn't fabricate it in-house. And I was very open with that. He said, I paid for you guys to fabricate. That was why we hired you. And I explained why we subbed it out, and he was actually okay with it. He's like, all right, that makes sense. I thought you just farmed it out because you didn't want to. I'm like, no, we're genuinely trying to build a team of craftsmen, subs and internal. We spent 12 hours that day going through all the cabinetry, door by door, adjustment after adjustment. And at the end of the day, I looked at Ken, and I told him it would take 30 minutes to adjust the cabinetry, which I was very wrong. I wish he was standing here because he would be advocating for that. But at the end of the day, I looked at him, I said, can you look at this job and say, I'm proud of this? That's very simple. And he said, no. I'm like, then we're ripping it up. And he's like, well, how are we? I'm like, I understand we can't afford to do this, and I understand there's opportunity. It's going to be, the wide scale, the $1 million, the $10 things that you're going to change, right? But I looked at him and said, we need to make a commitment that we're going to make this right, no matter what. We have to make this right, because at the end of the day, it might be okay if we leave it, but what if it's not? And I want to dig into that. You have two decisions, kind of, right? Could we have cleaned it up, made it passable to the homeowner? Probably. The homeowner would have been okay with it. All right, it is what it is, moving on. Probably wouldn't give us a bad review, would give us a neutral review. Wouldn't be a big deal to our anything, our company. Maybe we don't take photos of it, big deal, moving on, right? But what does that do for the culture of our company? It sets this precedence that what happens next time? Do we just let that slide too? And do we let the next thing slide and the next thing slide? And that leads to this slippery slope of mediocrity. And this is something that in our culture as a company is that we preach, is that you need to be proud of what you do, every single step. And if you're not proud and you don't think this is the best that you can do, step back and take the opportunity to do it again. And that's something that as a business owner, that's hard. That's financially impactful to our company. Very, it costs a lot of money. So in this case, what do I do if I can't afford to do it or do it over? So we got this question on the Modern Craftsman podcast, and I answered it. Commit to the homeowner that you'll be back when you can afford to do it. We didn't do that right away. We mapped it out. We sat down in the shop. We figured out how we could squeeze it into our already busy schedule. We sat down with our subcontractors who we have long-standing relationships with. How can we make this work? Like, this is a team effort. My plumber ended up, and he's here somewhere, he ended up saying, listen, I'm not going to charge you a penny. I'll do the swap. I'm good with you. My countertop guys came in, pulled all the countertops off, and reset them for us, because we have this relationship with them, and they understand the value of what we're doing, and they want to be part of that value. So we look at it as an opportunity to bring more value. And now bringing this back to overinvesting, again, we could have walked away and called a spade, and it would have been okay. We didn't. And at the end of the day, the architect on that job pulled us aside and said, listen, in my entire career, no one's ever done something to that level. They've repainted it, they've fixed it, and they walk away from it. And I said, that's fine, I don't want to be compared to that. But more so, we filmed it. We filmed the entire swap of the kitchen, which it was a feat in itself. It was 5 days worth of work, which was, I wish we could have done the original job in 5 days. We would have made a lot more money. But we filmed it and we posted it online, and we talked about this very story on our Instagram. And we talked about it because it's important for our clients and people to understand the value of what we do, and the fact that one of the biggest questions people have with contractors is what happens when it goes wrong? Are they gonna, is it a tail light warranty? Are they walking away? Are they gonna live up to my expectations? And what happens if they don't? And this is our way of showcasing the fact that we will do whatever it takes to live up to your expectations and hopefully exceed them. So we walk away with that job, the client is beyond happy. They've already referred us to multiple jobs. They've told this story to their friends, and it's a win for us rather than a neutral. Because I don't think it would have been a negative, it would have been more of a neutral.